So lately, everything about War Thunder has been falling apart in front of my eyes. I've made an entire video about the slow decline of World War II gameplay, and now, unfortunately, I have to talk about the SS problem. SS, or StatShark, is a War Thunder website that provides you with a lot of information that you don't have access to in the game itself. And in fact, I've already talked about all of its features in a separate video. Recently, however, oh man, where do I even start? Let's go with the less dramatic problem first. About 2 months ago, StatShark came out with a brand new feature called Live Game Viewer. And those of you who played World of Tanks probably already know where this is going. I know you're here not for World of Tanks, so I'll be brief. I played that game in the year of 2011, when it came out, and it was as simple and straightforward as it gets. People just drove their tanks around and shot each other. That was pure, casual fun. Sure, tryhards existed as well, but in the grand scheme of things, they didn't matter. It was a simple game for a simple player. But then everything changed with the appearance of a mod called XVM. XVM did only one thing, but that thing was enough to break the game. It showed you the stats of every single player in your match next to their name. And as soon as it became popular, the game changed from casual to full tryhard overnight. All of a sudden, players would insult each other before the game even began because they didn't like the stats of their teammates. Some would give up and leave, some would team kill, and in general, the whole game turned a lot more toxic. So now let's get back to StatShark. You know what this feature does? It's a one-to-one copy of XVM, and I'm not even kidding. The only difference being the fact that you have to use it externally in your browser instead of seeing the numbers in-game. How it works is extremely simple. You open StatShark in your browser, press the Live Game Viewer button, and then start looking for a game in War Thunder. Once you are in a match, you check the Game Viewer tab, and there it is. The list of every single player in your game, together with their stats. Now, it also shows a unique StatShark rating that helps you quickly judge how good someone is with colors. Bad players are brown, exceptional players are purple, and the rest are somewhere in between. So here is the problem I have with this tool. It just doesn't do enough good to offset all the potential issues. For example, to me, a player who only plays this game for fun, this game viewer is essentially useless. I don't care about the skill level of people in my lobby since I'm only here to get cool clips for my videos. Even if there is someone exceptionally good or bad on the enemy team, my gameplay is not going to change. I'm still not going to get into a turn fight with a 0, even if that player is completely clueless. So who would enjoy this tool? Well, the people I can see appreciating it are the super tryhards. I'm sure they would love to be able to instantly see other tryhards to focus specifically on them. And that's about all the good in my opinion. Now, as for the bad, if we look back at the World of Tanks situation, this tool has the potential to make the game just as bad if it becomes popular enough, especially among the very high and very low skill players. See, people who play War Thunder tend to have insanely big egos, but especially those two groups. And that ego causes them to constantly talk trash in the chat and spread toxicity everywhere they go. Now imagine if there was a tool that would allow them to instantly be able to identify easy targets for abuse. And yeah, that's exactly what this is. When it comes to skilled players, I'm sure you have already experienced their behavior firsthand. To them, anyone who's not exceptional at the game is a subhuman. They refuse to acknowledge anything average players say, consider their own opinions to be absolute truth, and find it funny to continuously abuse people because of quote-unquote wrong opinions. I've seen plenty of that on Discord, and I don't need any more of it. They might be correct in their takes on the game, but that doesn't mean they get a free pass to be an asshole. On the other side of the spectrum, you have players who are extremely bad at the game because they refuse to learn or acknowledge their own mistakes, so they desperately blame everything and everyone for their failures. They hate the game but still keep playing it, moaning and crying every time they die because, oh no, it wasn't them making a mistake. It was their team, lag, Russian bias, rigged matchmaking, rigged gameplay mechanics, etc., etc. So what do you think is going to happen when you give these two groups access to real-time stats of other players? Yeah, they're going to use them just to cry in the chat and make the match insufferable for everyone else. Players will be targeted for having stats too good or bad. There will be endless moaning about the matchmaking being unfair, with a lot of people mentally giving up before it even starts. After all, why would you even try when the enemy has better players, am I right? Might as well do nothing and camp the airfield the whole game, because the numbers said that I am likely to lose. So that's the live game viewer. While it is definitely a cool technical achievement, I do not see anything good coming out of it in case it gets popular. This game's player base is already unhinged enough. We don't need tools to make it even worse. And initially, this was everything I wanted to say. But then I came across some really disturbing information that made me stop using StatShark and in fact playing the game altogether. See, if you join the StatShark Discord, you can see the list of people responsible for its development. And the person I am interested in is PlusPy, or Plupsy as he is named here. As far as I can gather, this guy is one of the main StatShark developers, responsible for at least half of the website's features. So he must be a pretty good software developer, right? And yeah, he is, just not the software you expect. Do you guys remember the Nord hacker that appeared 2 years ago or so? In case you're not aware, Nords are special air-to-air missiles that have no self-guidance. You must control them with your keyboard, and even then they're quite sluggish and hard to use. Well, one day, people who play custom games noticed a player who would not just use Nords, but also kill absolutely everyone with them, no matter what. Nords under his control seemed to turn a lot more than they usually do, and he would hit you with 100% precision each time. Now, at first, most people, including me, were skeptical about these claims. After all, how can such a cheat exist? But then the guy himself uploaded a video of him doing just that to his YouTube channel, which since has been nuked by Gaijin. And that video did, in fact, confirm all those claims. The guy coded 2 separate hacks. One somehow bypassed in-game limitations and made the Nord turn 10 times better than it should be able to, and the other hack was an automatic guidance system for these missiles. So instead of controlling them with the keyboard, the hack would guide the missiles to the designated target automatically. So, you know, the accident happened, everybody had a good laugh and thought nothing of it. No real harm was done since this was contained to custom battles, and once the hacker had his fun, he simply disappeared. However, when he came back half a year later, nobody was laughing anymore. This time, he was playing in regular random matches, and he had 2 brand new hacks at his disposal. Hack number 1 allowed him to kill any player in the match by simply clicking on them with his mouse, which he did repeatedly. Hack number 2 allowed him to eject people from the game just by clicking on them, which he also did quite a lot. Now, this one was a lot scarier because it didn't just kick you from the match, it actually ejected you from your in-game account because of too many login attempts. So once again, this guy started terrorizing people in random games and even some content creators, which was followed by yet another video on his YouTube channel showcasing all this. And that video too was removed by Gaijin. By that point, this hacker has clearly transitioned from funny cheating to actively malicious cheating, ruining people's games just to showcase his brand new hacks and maybe have a few laughs. So imagine my surprise when I was told that this mysterious hacker is actually PlusPy, that StatShark developer. I guess it makes sense. The hacker was in the Sync squadron, and this guy is also in it. The hacker developed a lot of really advanced stuff to break the game, and this guy also made a lot of cool things for StatShark. So here comes the moral dilemma. Do I expose this guy for cheating and risk getting StatShark taken down? Or do I keep my mouth shut just so we can have this cool website? And initially, I was willing to shut up and let him work. After all, even if he did cheat, it seemed like he left his hacker past behind and focused on working on StatShark. Everyone was happy, so I felt like it was better to let things go. Unfortunately, something really bad happened recently. When chilling on Discord, I witnessed a person who shall not be named talk about the Nord hacker. All of a sudden, PlusPy joins the server and asks that person for their in-game name. He eventually finds it, of course, and insists that this person should join a random match in War Thunder, while also threatening to nuke their account. Oh, and he's also not very subtle about actually being the Nord hacker. Afterwards, PlusPy was stalking that person for 2 days, waiting for them to get into a game, and once they did, this happened. What you're witnessing is that person playing a normal War Thunder game, but somehow messages are being sent into the chat from that person, even though they're not touching the chat at all, since they're busy dogfighting. Essentially, what's happening here is PlusPy has developed a brand new hack that allows him to somehow send messages through any account that he knows the username of, if that account is currently in a match. So that's already kind of scary, but what does he do with it? Well, he decided to use it to send this into the chat. It is very clear from these messages that this is about punishing this person for talking about him, and also about this person being trans. Now listen, you can think whatever you want to think about trans people. However, I think we can all agree that maybe it's not a very good idea to hack the game just to send these vile messages, to insult a random person, and to try to get them chat banned. Don't forget, even though it's him sending the messages, the game treats those as if the player sent them. So if you get reported, you will get chat banned for it. I guess it also might be worth mentioning that the person in question is a minor, so perhaps telling them all this is not a great idea. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a software developer after all. Now, to me, the most shocking part about all this has been the fact that a lot of people actually know about PlusPy and what he does, and no one cares. I'm not sure if this is because he has some kind of power in the community, or because he's just that cool, or maybe people are afraid of his retaliation. Well, I'm not. What's the worst that could happen, right? See, I really don't like the idea that this guy, a notorious hacker, can freely insult and abuse people, going as far as hacking the game itself to try and get them banned. And yet, nobody cares. There has been absolutely no reaction to what happened to that person I mentioned previously, and I would like to fix that. I usually don't do this, but I am asking for your help. If you also don't like what happened here, please spread this information across all the War Thunder spaces. And I don't mean reposting my video, don't do this, or people will get mad that you are promoting me. Instead, just tell them that the Nord hacker is back with new cheats that allow him to speak through other accounts and potentially get anyone he doesn't like chat banned, and there is nothing that person can do about it. Tell people that this hacker now has a face. It's PlusPy, one of the StatShark developers who is also in the Sync War Thunder squadron. The more people talk about this, the higher the chance of Gaijin actually noticing and fixing this exploit, on top of maybe taking care of this guy. So that's the SS situation, and it sucks tremendously, because StatShark is by far the best War Thunder website in existence. Its value actually cannot be understated, considering how useful it is for anyone who wants detailed information that's not available in the game itself. However, if one of its active developers is a childish hacker who uses his skills just to abuse people and get them in trouble, then perhaps I don't want anything to do with this website anymore. And yes, I know the other StatShark developers aren't like that, but you know who you are working with, and you don't care. So why should I care? You reap what you sow. So, what's next? Not War Thunder, that's for sure. This guy will most likely go after my account, so I won't be playing the game anytime soon. And hey, it's currently in a pretty bad state either way. Perhaps I will cover a very different topic in my next video, who knows? Either way, I thank you for watching, and I would like to give an even bigger thank you to all my Patreon supporters. I do appreciate all of you. So, until next time, farewell.